FreeMMOStation.com.
Hey guys, this is Trilient here, bringing you another episode of Watcha Playin for FreeMMOStation.com. This time around, we're going to take a look at a free-to-play MMORPG called Savage Hunt, formerly known as Dragon's Prophet, published by Gamigo. I think I said that properly. As usual, we'll spend a few minutes talking about the game and some of its features. Please keep in mind that this is a first impressions video, and not all of the game's mechanics or features are going to be covered here. I'd like to start things off by saying that I never had a chance to try the original Dragon's Prophet, so I'm not going to be comparing those two games in this video. The information provided here is strictly my opinion and experience with Savage Hunt only, so enjoy. Upon opening the game, you'll be greeted with a surprisingly in-depth character customization screen. Now, there's only 4 classes to choose from: Guardian, Ranger, Oracle, and Sorcerer, which are all pretty standard fare with the exception of the scythe-wielding Oracle class. The customization screen features everything you can think of and then some. Sliders everywhere. The colors you can choose are a bit washed out, at least in the preview. However, there doesn't seem to be a limit to what you can do as far as the appearance of your character, which I think is absolutely fantastic. The gameplay, on the other hand, has quite a few shortcomings. After you've created your character and entered the game, you'll see a short cutscene about the newbie town being attacked by zombies, and you'll have to go out and fight them. Right from the start, you're doing the generic kill X amount of enemies quests and the like. The game doesn't really seem to get any better about it the further you progress. There tends to be more of the same types of quests, more fetch quests, more talk to this NPC, talk to that NPC, gather this amount of items, etc, etc. Nothing really seems to change, and there's no creativity to the quests in this game. It's all just pretty generic stuff. Now, I'd like to quickly add that this has only been my experience with the intro of the game, the beginning of the game, the quest line that you start off with. Now, the further you progress in the game, things might change, I don't know. So far, at the beginning of the game, everything is just fetch quests and generics. The game features an action combat system, or at least it tries to. I spent most of the time playing on the Ranger because I enjoy classes that wield bows. And honestly, the combat didn't really feel that great at all. There was several times where actions just didn't register, or I had a couple seconds of input lag, and other times when I tried to escape combat only to have my character charge an extra attack on the next nearest mob, like it was out of my control. To me, it feels like the developers originally designed a tab targeting system and then made a last-minute decision to turn it into an action combat system, which seemingly didn't work out that well. Dodging was practically useless. Even when I tried to time my dodges against enemy attacks, there was still a small bit of lag between the key press and what my character would actually do, and in the end he still ended up getting hit anyways. After encountering these issues in the game, I decided to look at potential solutions and discovered this was actually a fairly common complaint for the Ranger class in general, which was unfortunate because, as I stated before, I like ranged classes. So I decided to make a Guardian to see if the melee combat felt any better, and there was a little bit of an improvement, but it still felt like something was missing. The keys were still not registering on time, and it still had the input lag on commands that I sent to my character. The combat just felt glitchy and weightless overall. However, it wasn't the worst action combat system I've ever encountered. A lot of these problems are mostly due to the fact that the servers are located in Europe, so people in America are going to have a higher ping than the European players, which is unfortunate for an action combat game, especially if you're a player that lives in America. You're just going to have to settle for the fact that you have a higher ping. Another issue I encountered was missing audio, like background music and ambience. The first dungeon that I progressed through seemed to be missing a lot of sound effects. There wasn't even any boss music at the end. This of course could be a glitch of some kind, but I did double check my audio settings just to make sure I didn't accidentally turn the volume down, and sure enough, my volume was all the way up. Now I know I've gone on and on about issues that I've encountered in the game, and that's because there is quite a few issues in this game. However, let's talk about probably the most interesting thing about Savage Hunt, which is the ability to tame dragons. There are hundreds of dragons in this game that you can find and tame. They can fight with you or be used as mounts. Dragons also have special abilities that you're able to use depending on which ones you have in your inventory or which ones you own. Think of them like Pokemon, just instead of throwing balls to capture them, you have to mount them and rodeo them like there's no tomorrow. At some point the dragon will just go, well, this is my life now, and it'll become yours. I have to admit, the first time I tried to tame a dragon, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I failed probably a good 20 times or so. It didn't take long to figure it out. You have to run up to a wild dragon and press the tame button, which is defaulted to 6 on your keyboard. After that, you'll see a window pop up with a little minigame in it, and the goal of the minigame will be to keep your icon or cursor within the large circle by tapping your WASD keys in the middle for as long as cumulatively possible in order to fill up the bar before the timer runs out. There is a surprising amount of diversity in the dragons that you can find in Savage Hunt, from aquatic to flying to strictly land-based, or even dragons that look like freaking unicorns, man. Like seriously, at what point do these things stop being considered dragons? Because this silhouette here, like seriously, look at this silhouette. It does not appear to be a dragon to me. It does not look like a dragon. That is a unicorn, and no one can tell me otherwise. Now another issue I have, now hold on, put the pitchforks down, is the fact that you're limited to the amount of dragons that you can store. Starting off in the game, you're only given 2 slots for dragons you can tame and 2 slots to send dragons to your lair, which is a dragon bank of sorts. You can unlock more slots by paying for them for a maximum of 6 slots each. Now I don't know why in a game where they put hundreds of dragons, they would limit everyone to start off with a maximum of 4, and even behind a paywall you only get a maximum of 12. I don't know if later on in the game there's maybe a way to circumvent the paywall on the amount of slots you can have, but in general my tendencies to hoard items in online games would not be very welcome here, which is rather disappointing. Now guys, with the exception of dragons and dragon taming, overall this game isn't really anything new. It looks a bit dated. The combat doesn't feel that great, and essential features are seemingly locked behind microtransactions. Savage Hunt, I will say, has the potential to be a good MMO. There just really aren't that many that allow you to Pokemon your way to victory. There's a niche that this game can fill, but it's just not doing it that great at the moment. Perhaps in time they'll address these issues, who knows. I mean, we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll let you guys know if anything changes in the future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe to FreeMMOStation.com if you want to see more. Leave us a comment. Let me know how I did. If you'd like me to change anything, or if there's something I missed and you'd like to point it out, feel free to do so. I'm open to criticism. I am by no means an expert on this game or really any MMOs. I just play them and I give you my opinions of them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.